Greetings, Benjamin J. from BENZTRAINZ with another in the series. Well, another delivery from eBay. And I would have done a box opening, but as usual, it was full of peanuts. So anyway, just wanted to do a quick video, the grand unveiling. I picked this up on eBay for $6. And I'm always saying, don't overlook the junk. And trust me, this is about the epitome, I think, of junk. It is, of course, a 490, but as you see, in less than stellar condition. Get this out of the way. But I made the guy an offer on it. He accepted. As you can see, it is an old 490 that is just absolutely beat to death. But it has a full-size single reduction motor in it in fairly decent condition. So I thought I would do a quick video unboxing this and seeing what it's going to take to get this running. So anyway, $6 on eBay. And the shell itself is shot. It's got a broken corner. Rear plate and the tab and slot are gone. And this was one of the late 490s. It has screw holes, so you could also put the micro motor in this shell. Anyway, not much I can do with the shell. The motor, on the other hand, let's take a look at this and see what we have. Well, it turns right enough, no problem with that. Gearing looks okay. The question is, of course, will it run? It's missing a screw, or the one of the nuts off the brush plate, but it looks to be in fairly decent condition. So before I do anything else, I'm going to grab the oil bottle and put a couple of drops of oil directly on this pad for the bearing for the armature. It's got like a felt pad. You have to saturate this with oil before it actually gets down to the shaft itself. And we'll put a drop of oil on the output gear. Alright, let me pull the camera off the tripod. Let's take a look at this thing. Get this oil out of the way. Okay, so another motor, as you see, in fairly decent condition. No great amount of rust. In fact, there's no rust at all on the push rods themselves. This actually looks all right. So let's put it on the outside rail. Turn the power on. All right, power is on. The moment of truth. Let's see what happens. Oh, wait a minute. I got to get this locomotive off this rail. Hold on. All right, that's better. All right, so, wow. So was that worth $6? E-unit is working just absolutely perfectly. All right, so let's, hold on, let me grab a box of light bulbs here. Go one of the big globes. This is one of the light bulbs from Menards. So let's put this in. If it will, yeah, okay. All right, let's see what happens. All right, so as you see, it's up and running. Now this is a standard single reduction motor. I've been looking for double reduction motors, as you know. But when you see a motor for this price, you just can't beat. I mean, I contacted the guy, made an offer on it. I didn't think anybody was going to actually buy this. It was in just dreadful condition. But as you see, it's up and running. And actually running quite well. So what I will very likely do for the time being is drop this into another 490 shell. Like I said, there's not much I can do with this one. There's nothing to salvage off of it. Usually when I find them with a broken shell, I pull the plate out with the tab and slot coupler on it, but looks like someone's already beaten me to that. So there's not much you can do with this. I could saw the stack off. That comes in handy sometimes, but other than that, you might be able to take the horn off and transplant it onto something else, but the shell itself is just about shot. However, the motor is a different story, so I can put another nut on this. That's no problem. But as far as running, it doesn't seem to have any problems with it at all. E-unit is not sticking, not yet anyway. It's actually running quite well. So anyway, for $6, you simply cannot beat the price. You know, I see these motors on eBay and they're going for $20, $25, $30, and people buy them. And I never understood that, because even on a bad day, you can find a 490 for less than 15 bucks and pull the motor out of it. I mean, that's what I do. A lot of these locomotives I have started as 490s with this exact motor. Just pull the motor out, put it into a different shell, swap out the front crossbar. You can do all kinds of stuff with these motors. The nice thing about it, of course, is that it's up and running, and this thing was absolutely dirt cheap. I mean, $6, you can't beat that. And it's running with no problems so far at all. Now, it's far from perfect. I mean, it's seen some abuse. It's actually been strictly neglect. But I noticed that there was no rust at all on the push rods. None. So overall condition, this is actually quite good. So put a light bulb in it. It's up and running. So like I said, I will very likely just drop this into another shell for now. Because when I see these things cheap, I buy them. And even if they don't run, you can use them for parts. But in 95% of the cases, you find these old motors, you lubricate them, put them on the rail, even if they haven't been run in years, they limp along for a couple minutes, and then they start to run, and the more they run them, the better they run. So that's what this one needs, is just to run. So like I said, I will very likely just drop this in another 490 shell that's complete, and I have a new locomotive. Grand total of $6. Really difficult to beat that. So I'll go through my parts box. I've got probably a dozen of these nuts. Just replace that. That's the only thing I see wrong with this. I don't see any problems with it at all. It's actually in fairly decent condition. And the best part, it's running. I mean, I had no idea if it ran or not. I buy them for parts. But for the price, I mean, any part on this is worth $6. Any part on it at all. A set of wheels costs $10, $12. The push rods, $5, $6, $8, $10. So anyway, I just wanted to do an unboxing video. It's far from perfect, but it's a running motor. So in 10 minutes, if you have a shell, you can have a new locomotive up and running. Grand total, $6. As I always stress, don't overlook the junk. You can't beat the price, and in this case, it paid off well. It's up and running with no problems at all. E-unit's working, no problem with the motor. Running good and strong in forward and reverse. And what have I done? 2 drops of oil, and I added a light bulb. And that was it. I do have to replace that nut. Other than that, the motor is complete. As you see, it's almost rust-free. There's no rust on the push rods at all. So I'll do a follow-up video when I find something to put this in. Like I said, I'll very likely just put it into another 490 shell. I've got a bunch of them under the layout table. Anyway, I just wanted to do a quick video. As always, if you have any questions, feel free to drop me an email. BENZTRAINZ@gmail.com. And as always, thank you for watching.